What is going on, guys? My name is Sena and welcome back to another video. I just quickly want to apologize for the lack of uploads within the past couple weeks, but we are back and I am bringing you guys with a banger video today. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys 3 ways that you can instantly improve your aim in Valorant. Right before we actually jump into the video though, guys, I want to take a moment to introduce you and thank Valorant Tracker for sponsoring this video. Valorant Tracker is the #1 most popular tool that I've been using for years to track my stats and improvement. You can look at all sorts of things like KD ratios, win rates, or even more specific stats like agent KDs or map win rates. My personal favorite tool that Valorant Tracker offers is the Guide tab, where you can select any agent you want and access a massive video library of lineups for every map with that agent. If all of that wasn't cool enough already, Valorant Tracker is 100% free to download and use, meaning you don't have to spend a single penny to get all of these amazing features. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the top of the description or pinned comment to download Valorant Tracker today. Huge thank you to Valorant Tracker for sponsoring this video, and with all of that being said, guys, let's jump right into the video. Aim is one of the most important skills to have in Valorant and one of the main fundamentals that you need to learn in order to improve. Everybody wants insane aim, and I have made some videos on improving your aim in the past, but in this video, we're going to be talking strictly about ways to instantly improve your aim. If you watch this whole video and use all 3 of these tips, I can guarantee you that you will see improvement in your aim. We're going to be talking about a lot of important information in this video, so make sure to stick around to the end so you don't miss out on anything. And just before we get into the first tip, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys showing all your support on the channel lately. I've been posting a lot of shorts, and on my previous videos, you guys have been showing so much support, and I just cannot thank you guys enough for all of that. With all that being said, let's get into the first tip to instantly improve your aim. The first tip I have for you guys is to check and see if you can increase your monitor's refresh rate. Refresh rate refers to the rate at which your monitor refreshes the image on the screen. This is measured in hertz, so for example 60 hertz, 144 hertz, or 240 hertz. If you have a 240 hertz monitor, that means that you have 240 frames in a second to react to a target, rather than the 60 frames that you'd have on a 60 hertz monitor. Having a higher refresh rate monitor objectively gives you an advantage over a player who doesn't. Increasing your refresh rate will make hitting your shots a lot smoother and easier, and will literally make it so that you can react to targets faster. Some of you might be able to increase your refresh rate right now but not realize it. When I first bought my 144 hertz monitor, I was still playing on 60 hertz because I didn't realize that I had to change it. To change your refresh rate, open your Windows settings. Once you've opened this up, click on the System tab, then under Display, scroll down until you see Advanced Display Settings. Once you're on this page, you should see refresh rate with a drop-down menu of the different refresh rates that you can select. Something that's important to note is that HDMI cables don't support high refresh rates. I would definitely recommend using a video cable, especially for newer monitors, and HDMIs might not be able to make it to your monitor's refresh rate. This was a problem that I had because I couldn't use 144 hertz, but I had a 144 hertz monitor. If you're currently playing on 60 hertz and that's the maximum that you can go, I would highly suggest upgrading to at least 144 because it really makes a huge difference in game. I'd go as far as to say that your monitor is the most important peripheral that you should upgrade when it comes to Valorant. Once you increase your refresh rate, you will see instant improvement in your aim, or at least that's what happened to me. Moving on from this, let's talk about the second tip that I have for you guys on improving your aim. This tip is one that I've talked about in the past, but a really important one, and that is to adjust your sensitivity. A lot of players who are struggling with aim are playing on way too high of a sensitivity. Valorant isn't a game like Apex, Overwatch, or Fortnite where you need to constantly be flicking your mouse everywhere to keep up with your target, and it actually makes it a lot easier to aim if if you have a slower sense. I have a full sensitivity guide on my channel if you want to check that out, but right now I'll run you through a quick sensitivity guide. As a starting sense, for 800 DPI, you'll want to try 0.35 in game. For 1600 DPI, you'll want to try 0.175, and for 400, you'll want to try 0.7. This sense is the average sense of all pro players, which is why we're using it as our starting point. Once you switch to this starting sense, you'll want to go to the range or a deathmatch or something and try playing on it and slowly adjust it up or down depending on whether you are over flicking or under flicking. This is a pretty fast and easy way to find a good sense that you like that feels comfortable to use. My personal sense is 0.33 on 800 DPI. Valorant is a low sense game by nature since 90% of aiming is micro adjustments, and having too high of a sense will make you struggle with this. If you're playing on a really high sensitivity, try lowering it and it can help you out a lot, trust me. Just as a little bonus tip here, I would recommend turning on beta raw input buffer. Raw input buffer bypasses any alterations or enhancements that Windows might put on your mouse movements. For me personally, it's made my mouse movements feel a lot more responsive, but that might be placebo, I'm not exactly sure, but I'd recommend turning this setting on just in case. Moving on from this, let's talk about the third and final tip that I have for you guys on improving your aim. This tip is a huge one, and it is to take your movement into account when you're aiming. Most people believe that aim only has to do with your mouse movement, but your in-game movement actually affects your aim a lot as well and isn't talked about as much. You want to use your movement to complement your aim and help make aiming easier. One of the best ways to do this is to stop holding W while you're peeking an angle or taking a fight. Holding W makes your first shot inaccurate and makes you a very easy target to hit, and overall, it's a bad habit that I see a lot with lower ranked players. I've mentioned W peeking in countless other videos and in short form content, so this is a really important topic to understand. It's also just as important to practice pre-aiming your crosshair on a wall and using nothing but your movement to swing into the target. I do this pretty much every time I want to take a fight, and it's a concept that seems easy but has a huge effect on your gameplay. These are fundamentals of aiming that aren't entirely intuitive and a barrier that you have to get past in order to see improvement in your aim and your overall gameplay. I have a movement guide on my channel as well, so make sure to check that out if movement is something that you think you really struggle with. If you start being aware of your movement and stop holding W while you're peeking and taking a fight and learning how to pre-aim and use A and D to swing into your targets, your aim will improve drastically, I promise. And I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this video. In this video, we talked about 3 ways that you can instantly improve your aim. Just to quickly recap all the points I made in this video, the first tip is to increase your monitor's refresh rate, as this will make aiming easier and reacting to targets a lot easier and give you basically an advantage in your fights. The second tip talked about sensitivity and why Valorant is a low sensitivity game and a guide on how to find a good sensitivity for you. And the third tip talked about movement and how movement drastically affects your aim and how you can use movement to your advantage to make aiming easier. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, and if you did, don't forget to drop a like down below and also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Like I mentioned towards the beginning of the video, you guys have been absolutely killing it with the support recently, so I just cannot thank you guys enough for all of that. I have a Discord server linked down in the description below. We have a super chill community. We would love to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day or night to watch this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.